Welcome aboard the USS Estes. As you may or may not know, the Estes here is the command ship of Joint Task Force 132. We have minutes to go before the first blast, mic shot, of Operation Aimee. We've been here since daybreak. Left Weetalk last night during the early morning hours. Now, as you can imagine, feeling is running pretty high about now, and there's reason for it. If everything goes according to plan, we'll soon see the largest explosion ever set off on the face of the Earth. You have a grandstand seat here to one of the most momentous events in the history of science. In less than a minute, you will see the most powerful explosion ever witnessed by human eyes. The blast will come out of the horizon just about there, and this is the significance of the moment. This is the first full-scale test of a hydrogen device. If the reaction goes, we're in the thermonuclear era. For the sake of all of us, and for the sake of our country, I know that you join me in wishing this expedition well.
It is now 30 seconds to zero time. Put on goggles or turn away. Do not remove goggles or face burst until 10 seconds after the first light.
Minus 15 seconds. Minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Soon. If internet gets off their ass.
Until then, right now it's just the great Radio Tiki experiment. Tonight I'm Tom, and the rest of our panel includes Jeff.
Hello.
Maurice.
Hello.
Maurice, step back from the mic. You're all right. And, of course, our chief techie, Chris.
Hi.
He's back there with the whiteboard, and he needs to bring up his mic on his lapel. He'll be all right.
Hey, good.
That's all right.
Somebody had to go for the lavalier.
Yeah.
Lavalier.
Had to have the lapel mic, but that's okay.
He's got to move around.
And joining us tonight is world-famous Dr. Stephen Hawking.
Could this apartment be any hotter?
It's a little warm in here, Chris.
There's no heat on.
Well, you know what? Live on the third floor more often. I'm sorry, the studio.
The studio.
Do you actually have all 12 computers running tonight there, Chris?
No, I've only got 3 running tonight. The other 6 are, they were running a simulation on global climate patterns. I decided to, it was too hot in here, turn them off,
That's just because you were changing the climate, just having those computers on.
Yeah, that was the problem. It was the whole, if the computer was running in Central Park, is it going to rain in New Mexico? That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Butterfly wings, Sure.
Chaos caused by the cooling fans of Chris's many computers. So that's the Great Tiki Experiment. I'm going to start with my Guinness. I've been waiting all night for this. I can't even get my tab open here. I feel much better about life now.
All right, let's keep it by the mic there, son.
Oh, sorry. It's not a commercial. This is not a commercial for the fine people at Guinness. And I'm not hawking any free beer to be sent to this apartment.
Now are we under those FCC rules, no drinking on the air and all that?
I don't think we have any.
There is no FCC.
This is the internet,
I think we have a gentleman's agreement to not say too many horrible things.
Penis.
Okay, should we all get out of our system now?
Just get it out of the way now.
Dick.
Penis.
There we go.
Dick.
There we go.
Penis.
There we go. So I was almost late for the show tonight.
Why was that there?
I planned this. We get everything going. I say all week long, you know what? I need to be out of the house around 7 to arrive in the studio at 7:30. And I'm halfway here, and I get a phone call. It's Vicky. She says, "Can you drop by my mom's on the way over to Chris's house?" I said, "What's going on?" Well, her mom was coming over, since I was going to be out of the house tonight. Her mom was coming over to work out with Vicky. They were going to do some jazzercise or some rap like that in the basement.
People still do jazzercise?
The Wonak women still do jazzercise.
We're going to party like it's 1987.
Yeah. I believe after that they were going to whip out the Jane Fonda tape.
Yes.
But
to actually, well, I watch without the Jane Fonda tape, but it's not to do the jazzers. So.
You're watching that Barbarella.
And you just played with something else out too, aren't you?
Is this a movie I'm going to need tissues for?
Hold on.
Okay, Pee-wee.
But, so her mom's supposed to come over tonight while I'm out doing the show. And,
you missed it. He's doing the little quote marks in the air.
Okay, yeah, let's get that out of the way now.
Actually, he didn't.
The audio rule is when I do this. That's the same as doing the little quote marks in the air. So, while I'm in the studio, which is my tongue-in-cheek way of saying Chris's apartment,
working on the show. We like audio distortion here at Radio Free Peak.
Well, you know what? I got 20 million things going on. I'm like a friggin' octopus here. I got to bring people's mics down, including my own.
Let's just do this on the air. Here we go.
It's a technical workshop. I don't think people ever want to listen to that. I don't think that's what I can bring that down.
It also probably doesn't really sound really good at 24 kilobits per second and 22. Wait, let me look at the.
Okay, see, now he's going to whip out the whiteboard again. Here we go.
Try to do some calculations.
The markers.
The whiteboard is coming out again.
No, I'm not. No.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
We need to...
But we should get that electronic whiteboard software so people at home can see what I'm drawing on the whiteboard. It's kind of like a telestrator over the computer.
Okay.
Except less like football.
We are currently a not-for-profit radio experiment. So
no.
How's that going to work?
Do we in fact have video capability this time?
No.
And if
we have to wait a week for that?
No.
There may be a fisheye camera somewhere?
We'll put mounted on the ceiling. It'll be like at the JCPenney's.
You just see our heads bobbing up and down.
Every once in a while, I got to run over and tackle Chris.
Code 4! Code 4!
One item in the dressing room at a time, please.
Why did you
have tough skin, sir? You're 27
Could
years old.
Could you change a little more slowly, please? Thank you. Big 2-8, you know how it goes.
Could you move to the right?
Anyway,
Thank you.
Anyway, Vicky, Mother, Jazz's Heist, Jane Fonda, whipping it out.
Now that is the way to stay focused. That I appreciate that, because I'm going to be all over the road tonight.
Is there an agenda for this meeting?
I got some notes, but who knows? And I don't even know if I'm loud enough because I'm no longer in the mixing board. I'm going to put myself up a little bit. If I'm too loud for you guys, let me know. I'm currently clogged full of snot. I'm dying of a cold.
And drinking beer.
And drinking beer. So
if you want to be clogged full of snot, it would be milk-flavored beer.
Milk, yes.
It is Guinness, so it has the consistency of milk.
Ugh.
It's really thick.
Old body good, though. Very old, lumpy, spoiled milk.
Black milk. Dark black milk.
Dark black milk.
Anyway.
Just like Mother used to make.
As Jeff has reminded me, I should be focused on my story. So I get the call.
Please, by all means.
Hey, I get the call halfway over here. Stop by my mom's. Now, here's the kicker. She can't get out of the garage.
Was that part in quotes because you were close to the microphone?
And why is that?
Okay, see, this is exactly, Maurice. That was my question.
Thank you for that.
That was my question. Why is that? Apparently, Vicky's sister is visiting from the lovely University of Illinois. And so she had parked in the driveway and then went out for the evening with her friends. Okay? Parked the car in the driveway, and the car is in the driveway in such a way that apparently Vicky's mom could not get the car out of the driveway. Could not back the car out of the garage, get around Sarah's car to get out. Okay? So I show up there. I said, all right, I will try to get the car out of the garage. And all this with a barrage of phone calls from the two of them. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. I'll just stay home. And then, Vicky saying, well, my mom was going to spend time with me while you were out tonight. So, of course, I have to go over and let the car out of the garage.
By the way, that is exactly how Vicky sounds.
For those of you, for your first-time listeners.
Which would be everybody.
Everybody.
Tonight.
I think Dan's listening down in Bloomington. So.
Yeah. Blow us a call, Dan, if you're listening. We can't put you on the air or anything. But, we don't quite have that technology.
Send us email.
Send us email.
I thought
right now I'm talking through a tin can, with a string.
I thought Chris was going to have the chat room software set up. Again, there's just so many tech things.
Yeah, but like the hot tub chat room was taken, so that's all we have left.
IRC, hot tub, sex.
We demand our perfection.
Yeah.
So I agree to go over and let the car out of the garage. I get there. Sarah has very courteously left the car easily a half a car length down the driveway. Any normal person could have gotten the car out of the garage immediately. I go in the garage, I get the keys from Vicky's mom, and she's like, I don't think you're going to get it out. Don't hit the wall. Don't hit Sarah's car. Don't hurt my car. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I get it out. I turned the wheel once, backed the car straight out. And her reaction was, well, I just couldn't get it. I left the car running, I left the door open, and I made it over here by 7:35.
I would like to say hi to Vicky, who's listening in tonight, too.
Actually, I called Vicky. You know what? I have to thank Vicky for show content tonight. I called her up to say, I got your mom out of the garage. I go, you're not going to believe what's wrong. She goes, no, don't tell me. Well, you don't want me to tell you? She goes, no, I'll listen to it on the show later. I said, all right, Vic. Good call.
Hey, Chris, do me a favor. Could you open and close a few more boxes so we can all hear that? Thanks.
What are you doing?
I'm straightening it up.
You know, this was the best time to clean the apartment.
The apartment. I'm sorry. The studio. Not only
use of the air quotes.
Not only did he go for the lavalier mic, he went for the omnidirectional lavalier mic, which picks up everything in the studio.
Everything.
Probably picking up you listeners at home too.
I think it's picking up his heartbeat.
That'd be cool.
You want a little of that?
So anyway, Vicky said, no, I don't think that's working out.
Well, it was before.
Vicky said, don't tell me about it, I'm going to listen to it on the show. So Vicky getting behind the Tiki Radio experiment full force. She said, no, I'll listen later. So that was good. So thank you, Vicky. So that was my trip over to the show tonight. Oh, now it's my fault. Yeah. Now I'm the asshole. Yeah. All of a sudden I've turned into Chris here. I moved my watch. I took my watch off to time the show.
No, the thing is you're like 15 feet away from the mic.
Yeah.
We couldn't hear you.
Okay, sorry. You know what? All right, here's what I'm going to do. Now here I'm the even bigger asshole. I'm going to move the table back.
Oh my God.
So I can be comfy.
Don't disconnect anything.
No, I'm good. I got all these wires stretched out here.
I had to move a whole inch. Bastard.
I know. Now reposition your butt. And I'm taking a Guinness break. So that was my trip over to the show tonight. I feel much better now that I'm here.
Yeah.
Now that it's all working out. And while you guys are working on your anecdote, I'm going to see what Mr. Hawking has to say, i.e. type his dialogue.
Oh, you're giving away radio secrets here. You're the first show. You're killing the magic.
Oh.
You're supposed to save this for your lectures like at Columbia College later,
The shot-by-shot analysis.
And if you listen very carefully, you can hear me typing what Stephen Hawking is going to say in the background.
Allegedly.
Those sounds could be anything, though. Anything.
It could be anybody typing on anything. So we've already complained. Stephen's already complained about the apartment.
Could this apartment be any hotter?
Yep.
And of course, I reserved the.
Yeah, let's just type dead air.
Yeah. Well, I left it wide open.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first broadcast.
While I was on the way over, I stopped at the local Radio Shack because I had neglected to buy a stand for my microphone. I am still without a stand for my microphone because apparently the manager there didn't order the proper...
Fascinating story.
Then I stopped for some Wendy's and came over here.
Wait a minute. The manager didn't have any mic stands at all?
There was one of those, normal lead singer of a band stands next to microphone stands.
He's doing stand up in my
apartment. No, studio.
Who are these people?
Could you tie your Steven Tyler scarves all over it?
I suppose you could.
You could have put your big Doctor Who scarf on there, that big long...
I very well could.
There you go. That would have worked out.
Ooh, excuse me.
This is appropriate.
God, you guys suck.
It's our first show.
When does Steven start saying naughty things that are dirty that we can get potentially sued over? That'll be fun.
Do we need to go there?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well, eventually. Yeah.
I still haven't gotten out the penis thing out of my head yet.
Is that something we need to address in therapy?
Yeah.
Penis.
Get it all out.
A little more. Chris. You got another one.
Wait. I got a better one. Boobies.
There we go.
Thank you.
So I brought
our first show.
I brought a few things to talk about tonight. I think I want to lead with a couple of deaths.
Just
How
a
very
couple.
appropriate.
Just a couple.
First of all,
is this people who are dead or are going to die?
Are dead.
Okay.
Actually, are dead.
Excuse me.
You need me to... There we go. Should I turn you off while you do that?
No.
Okay.
No. I can't hear myself.
That's better. First of all, let's start with Bob Collins. Just for a moment. I find it ironic, strange,
don't you think,
that we're starting our first show on the week that Uncle Bobby augurs one into the top of a hospital.
Okay, I'm getting all fucking misty here. What's your point?
I think this is our chance. I think this is our chance to appeal to all of Uncle Bobby's listeners, young and old. Young and old.
I mean, old and old?
Yeah,
right.
or
just all of the old. Old and older? All the listeners. Yeah.
Old and old to log on, check out the show, and I think that you'll find that...
What's that website again?
What is that website again, Chris?
Those terms are too technical. Take the little pointy thing and double-click it on the little wheel thingy.
Go to your local library.
Yeah, go
How do you double-click?
Make your grandchildren come over and give them cake or something, or a quarter. Maybe they'll show you how to get on the radio.
It sounds like we're dissing you, listeners. We're not. We want the elderly listener.
It's like radio for the deaf here. I mean, how are they going to listen? How are they going to know we're dissing them?
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. Do a little more there, Chris. Hit that. The lob's not picking up anything. that was Chris, playing with the marker, hitting the marker in his hand in a very, very masturbatory fashion, I might add.
Well, we're 27 minutes into the first show, and we've said masturbatory.
Yay!
I think that's some sort of record. Just a side note, I'll say this for the... no, I'm not going to save it for the meeting after the show.
The postmortem?
This week, spend the 65 cents. Everybody get windscreens for the mics.
Okay.
Yeah, every time we say pee, we get... I get an earache.
Wait. Do you hear my pees?
I hear everything you're doing.
Yeah, so you might want to pull your pants up.
What?
Back to my appeal to Uncle Bobby's listeners. We too can be just laughing and scratching, as Uncle Bobby was fond of saying.
Good afternoon, darling.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. We do our show every Friday night, at least for now. God willing.
And then in March we'll have some completely different thing we'll be out.
We'll be rolling some other things out in March.
Rolling?
Whatever.
Yeah.
In the digital age, we can still use the analog terms. But you know what? Tune in at 5 a.m. and we'll probably be rebroadcasting this sucker the rest of the week.
Over.
Unlike Uncle Bobby, previously and currently, we'll be with you all day. So
all the time.
Feel free to email us. It's not a scary thing.
What's that email address you have?
What is that email address? Where can we be reached, Chris?
If they go to if internet gets off their butt, it's www.radiotiki.com.
That's RADIOTIKI.com.
.com.
No space.
No space. No space.
No space, and for the love of God, no dash. For those of you, let me take you behind the scenes this week on the Tiki Radio Project. The crap that we argued about. Should we have a dash in the domain name? Should it be Radio Free Tiki, which is good? Should it be Radio Tiki? Should it be Tiki Dash Radio? Should it be Tiki Zine with a slash for radio? I mean, the crap that we went through.
And we didn't.
Keeping that in mind, we did show prep about 10 minutes before we started.
Like, how are we going to do this? Play that.
Oh, we have a phone call.
Oh, right.
Excuse me, I'll go get it.
You won't be able to hear what's on the phone.
Can you grab the phone and bring it closer to the mic? This is
okay.
This
This is a challenge of the person who has the longest cord.
Whoever's calling here, hang on. Oh, and now we'll all stop talking and listen to what Chris is... Oh, yeah, all right.
Damn telemarketer.
Now we've got an issue.
Bastards.
Okay, our idiot friends calling in, that's one thing, but telemarketers, that's quite another.
That is a problem.
That's quite
another. Do you want to be on the air?
Yeah, that's what you do. Can I put you on the air? Answer the phone like that.
No, you've telemarketer. You've called a business. Can we put you on the air?
Hey, Jeff, it's Radio TK. Can we put you on the air? Yeah. Cost of purpose offer cash. Radio TK. Radio TK.
So they did this study in New York that right after the New Year, the whole 2000 thing, that the death rate just skyrocketed.
Are you dating?
Death rate?
The death rate, because old people say I'm going to hang on to make the 2000.
So they hang on and then they let go in January.
So no, they came out and said the death rate in the first 2 weeks of January was something like 5 times the normal death rate. In the first week of January, and there was no weather thing going on. It was just people hanging on for 2000. I can die now.
New York City, right?
So yeah, well,
New York State,
because it's the only place that data they came out with.
They study those things.
They study those things. So I'm wondering if we should do a little study like that now that Bobby's gone.
How many of his listeners?
Yeah, all these old people. Well, Bobby's dead. I have no other reason to live.
Wrong, my friend. Spike O'Dell. Okay, Spike's going to come in the morning. He's going to bring you bite your butt mustard. He's going to have orange juice, and he's going to talk about how he ate Bob Collins' lunch every day. and people are going to tune in. Okay, one of the tragic things. No, I don't mean tragic. Reliable things about WGN radio. For those of you worldwide listeners, we're discussing a local radio icon. Yeah,
Donga.
Radio icon in Chicago, very popular with the aged and infirm,
so to speak,
as it were. Has passed on.
I'm infirm right now, and I think that's a good thing.
And incontinent.
And that's why we don't have a webcam.
Thank God for that.
I am the face. No,
but one of the things you can depend on from that particular audience of the aged and infirm is you could essentially put a trained monkey on the air and get a 10 share on that station. It's tragic. But
wait, no. I think that's an idea here. We should put a trained monkey on the air and see what radio share we get.
There we go.
Because we can do that.
I don't think the ego could handle that.
Oh.
We'd be the new web phenomenon.
Those guys got trained monkey on the air. And then you'd have 3 or 4 other copycats also putting trained monkeys on the air.
And they'd have like a trained orangutan, a trained spider monkey.
But our web listeners would skyrocket to like 3 if we did that.
You know what? I believe if you check right now, we might actually have 3 right now.
Let's go on over to the tote board.
We're going to send Ed McMahon over to the tote board and check for the number of listeners.
This
feel
like I'm on a telethon now.
CD. If we can throw that in. Oh, I'm not hooked up to the CD player.
No, the screensaver kicked in.
Oh,
jeez. Oh, hold a second.
So I'm thinking, how radio rallies around its own and people come back from retirement. I'm thinking of pair up with Wally Phillips and Larry Lujak to fill time.
That would be damn good radio. I would listen to that show.
And hopelessly insular for anyone listening outside of, say, a 100-mile radius.
No, again, with what you can appeal to is the folks that listen to Larry Lujak and Wally Phillips were heard in like 46 states.
They had a big blower.
Yeah, they had the 50,000 watt blowtorch. All in audio quotes. Thank you very much. Back to my heartfelt appeal to all of Uncle Bobby's listeners. Now that I've completely alienated every last one of them,
and got off track numerous times.
Well, we said 2 hours plus gravy. I think we're doing very well on that mark. Hang on a second, I just want to see. The problem with Steven is he's mouse controlled.
God, you guys suck.
So I'm sorry. Oh, and now
I have on Tom's mic leaning over.
Now we're reaching over my mic to type on Steven. Oh, boy.
Oh, great.
You know...
So.
Oh, you are a suck.
Yeah, thanks for misspelling.
Yeah.
Makes us suck even more.
All right, I'm going to put this on, but we're going to have some kind of boundaries with Steven, okay? You know what?
Well, I was waiting for a nice, you've offended somebody.
All right, you cue me when you want Steven to say.
This is high concept radio.
Right. It's more radio performance art than a show.
Is that our excuse?
That's what we'll call tonight. We'll call the first show for being completely unpolished, having about 10 minutes of prep.
Well, how about next time we prepare something before the show?
Yeah. See,
where's all my shit? I got piles of crap to talk about.
I got shit too, but none of us talked that we said to each other what shit we had.
Technically, in a strictly technical sense, this is our third show. Our first ever show was we were here one day just screwing around with the mics, and we really didn't realize that we were broadcasting. And somebody did log on during that time.
Which is why I had faith that we had at least 3 listeners right now, because we picked up somebody on our tech show when we were just.
We're picking up your typing over there.
Actually, I find it quite soothing. I find the typing very soothing. It's okay.
Okay, Bobby. Uncle Bobby.
Oh, so yeah, now that I'm done alienating every one of those listeners, join us. Get the grandkids over, have them show you how to log on. For those of you that want to log on, it's live365.com. Type in search Tiki space radio. Did you just get a weird, skipping noise?
Yeah, I heard.
What was that all about?
I have no idea.
I'm actually appearing tonight via 33 1/3 RPM phonograph record, and
well, no, I think Chris is
big truck rumbled by.
Doing some crap over there with the server.
Nope, wrong one.
Whoops.
Actually, we're not appearing as Tiki Radio right now.
What are we appearing?
It's appearing as Crispy Radio.
This afternoon...
I saw it earlier. It said Radio Tiki.
Yeah, this afternoon it was, yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. It's all technical. It's a technical workshop.
That was the third use of the technical workshop tonight. For those of you keeping track.
There's a moratorium on that particular phrase.
Moratorium?
Yeah.
So is anyone actually listening? Hi, all you people out there listening.
No, 0 out of 365 listeners.
Thanks, Dan.
Oh, Dan, way to go.
Thanks, Vic.
She's jazzercising right now.
You can jazzercise with this, man. Go.
The computer is in the back of the office upstairs.
Yeah, crank it up.
Where, there's a bed in there, there's a crib in there.
Get old Stephen Hawking going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Oh, I'm such an asshole.
Okay, Jeb, next time put in a definitive article in your sentences for us.
Oh.
There we go.
He was doing that for our Russian listeners.
Oh, you are such an asshole.
There we go.
You want to take this outside there, Stephen? See, here I am. It's a radio trick. I'm pretending Stephen is actually here because I really don't want to take a laptop computer outside. And,
when we really do the show, we won't mention that Stephen is just a puppet.
Yeah, perhaps maybe.
Yeah, what is the first show anyway?
Perhaps we may want to do that next week.
Yeah.
When's our?
Well, we said all week.
This dress rehearsal's going pretty good, isn't it?
I think it's going very well. You dissent?
No, it's not a dress rehearsal, Jeff. It's actually going over the air.
The
little lights on my router are saying yes, I'm broadcasting something.
And the recorder is whirring away. So apparently this is a show. You are recording this, right? Because otherwise we have to start.
No, it's recording something. I don't know what.
You still have the WB on for the video signal?
Yeah, for the video signal, we're still watching the Wayans brothers.
I hope we don't have 2 hours of Mr. Mann.
And
Jackie?
The sad part is that's probably funnier than anything we'll do tonight.
Remember, we're not trying to be funny.
I think it was
radio performance.
What time is it again?
It's it's a grand 8:40.
Oh boy.
20 minutes to 9.
All right.
What's it? No, because you're on the internet, you have to broadcast all times in GMT as well.
Oh, for Christ's sake! Do I have to add 6?
Yeah, you add 6, so it's actually 2 a.m. and
2:40.
If you're listening right now,
and that's the other thing. We're rebroadcasting the show ad infinitum the rest of the week. I'm congested. I couldn't save my Latin. I'm sorry. We probably shouldn't mention the actual time, But we can say that we are 40 minutes into the show.
We are T+4.
T40. There we go. Go ahead. You gonna drink right out of the bottle?
A little thirsty. The water ain't cutting it.
Get a glass.
I put a new filter in there.
I'm not infectious anymore.
Well, not the bottle of Jameson kills its own germs.
Right.
Woohoo!
Back to appealing Uncle Bobby's. I will not let a topic die. Damn it! I will hang on to that goddamn topic, and I will see it to its bloody friggin' conclusion.
Because we got nothing else to talk about.
Get the grandkids. Have them show you how to hook up to the show. Live365.com. Put in the word tiki.
No.
Just try radio.
Crispy.
Try
radio. Type in radio. See how many comes up.
Try crispy for now. That's CHRISPY. Later on, try TIKI, and then you'll see the show.
Yeah, it'll be fixed.
Okay. You can use Real Player from home.
Good luck with that.
We've had some alleged issues with Real Player. We don't want to irritate the fine folks at Real Player. Allegedly.
We've allegedly had some alleged problems.
And we're allegedly very pleased with our results on Winamp, allegedly.
By the way, I was listening to the show earlier when it was just the music, and it was working with Real Player on my computer.
Yeah, I don't have problems.
At work or at home?
At home?
At home.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I was using the Real Player plugin for Netscape. So.
Okay, I was at work, and Real Player had some issues. Not getting too technical, some firewall problems.
What's a firewall? I can't listen to this stuff anymore. Where's Uncle Bobby?
Dead.
All right, so now that's I've killed the Uncle Bobby thing.
I think he handled that on his own.
We're going in. We've had a midair. We're going in. Okay.
Actually, Tom, I was going to ask you your opinions of the plane crash, since you yourself have flown.
I have. Well, the first night that it happened, hear me getting all somber now. Shall we turn down the lights? The first night that it happened, there were several news stations saying, well, both these planes have some known carburetor problems. They've got bulletins from the FAA, and that could be an issue. The weather was just right for a carb problem. I leaned over to Vicky then, and we were watching the news. I said, there is no way that this was caused by a carb problem. That's the only thing that I'm definitive on at this moment. I will say that rumor has it that Bob Collins' plane was cleared for a final approach of about 5 miles. People can get in front of a 5-mile approach, but it's the onus of responsibility is on that person to check before getting in the lane. It's like pulling out into traffic. So, and the person that was the other person involved in the crash was a student pilot. I don't want to get down on the student pilots. They all have their problems.
You were one yourself?
Yeah, what?
You were one yourself?
I was one myself. And she's dead now. So,
wow.
It could have been any number of things. I think that Uncle Bobby was up there with a friend in a Zlin aerobatic aircraft, and they might have had a. There's no, you know what? Allegedly.
Not even allegedly.
There's no alleged. There's no basis in fact for the little drinky symbol.
Are we gonna have to put the lawyer on speed dial?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. What we'll have to do is open up the yellow pages under lawyer.
And just start calling them one by one.
I think it's attorney in the yellow pages.
No, it's lawyer.
It's lawyer. You can go to lawyer.
Really?
Pull on the yellow pages there.
Oh, you know what? Let's not.
This show is an exercise in screeching halts.
Getting back to
and minutia.
But going back
to the airplanes.
Yeah.
Did you notice the next night someone didn't quite make it to the runway at the Schaumburg Airport? They ran out of fuel.
Whoops.
and landed kind of tumbled their aircraft right in front of the old O'Hare Expressway there.
Did they? Again, for you folks not local, we're talking about an airport not too far from here. It's a small, not even a regional. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's just a little local strip. Municipal. It's a municipal airport run by the Park District. They got the kids out there in a slip and slide during the summer. Was the person killed?
Oh no. The plane was only like minorly damaged. What
kind of a story is that? Damn it!
What it happened?
We've only got an hour and a half.
People would be taking care not to have problems after a big crash that killed 3 people.
There could have been. All right, here I am getting up on a soapbox. We're not even an hour into the show. I'm on a soapbox.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go make a snack run or something.
I'm gonna get on my soapbox for just a second.
This may take a while.
There could have been any number of reasons for someone to run out of fuel. Speaking as a person who has been in a plane that ran out of fuel.
Was it fuel? I thought it was oil.
No, oil bad. Then the engine freezes up. But it was fuel. The plane was dry on fuel, and the gauges itself were faulty. The person who owned you rent the plane from a firm, like you rent a car, and the place that was renting the plane.
By the way, Tom, I'm going to stop you for a second. Yeah. We could hear you fondling your mic and stand there.
You know what? I was trying to twist it to a better position.
Is it time to say masturbatory again?
No. Oh. Not yet. Save it for the next hour.
Yes.
Oh, God.
But continue with the story there, Tom.
Anyway, through no fault of the pilot in command, i.e. me, the gauges themselves were bad. And even if you get out and check the fuel tanks, which you're supposed to do, and I did, the fuel sometimes, depending on the wind, depending on what you do, the fuel goes faster than you think it does, and all of a sudden, you're out of gas. So
okay, I could see that.
Yeah, but the person
was doing multiple touch and goes.
Well, that actually probably was the case. The people at this particular airport, they do a lot of training there. They do a lot of lesson flying. They could have been up 2 hours instead of an hour, and that's enough to run a tank drive. So that's enough to do it. So there, I'm off my soapbox now. Jeff, you can rejoin the discussion.
So who else kicked it? Not to move things along or anything.
Do we have a clip, a fast-paced clip here? No, wait. Let's end the airplane thing real quick. Were there any other questions?
No.
We'll wait for details as they arrive. We might have something for next week's show.
Yeah, who knows?
So
I'll work my sources in the NTSB for that.
Well, I was just going to say this sounds like Cheeks' baby. You're going to have to keep on top of this and bring something to next week's show.
Well, what about the rumors that it was Mann-Cow's black helicopters that actually caused the Bobby's?
Right,
right away.
That
name should not be said
right away.
on the air ever.
That's like saying Satan. You said,
Belgium,
really?
Satan?
Exactly. Belgium, don't even.
Okay.
Red rum.
People that didn't kick it this week. That particular person.
People didn't kick it.
However, today off the Reuters line.
Just for a legal standpoint, I don't think we should say where we get our news from.
Yeah.
Off the Reuters line.
Off the Coconut Wireless.
I'll go check the teletype.
Which, by the way, would have been a good time for somebody to say technical workshop. But we blew our wad earlier, and now there's a moratorium on it. Anyway.
So we can't say technical workshop.
We cannot. So.
Isn't that a registered trademark?
It should be. It damn well should be.
It should be.
Today, Jim Ernest Varney.
Oh, no.
Is dead.
No!
Yes. Dead at the ripe old age of 50. I'm a little brought down by this. It seems like there's a conspiracy to bring all of our good entertainers down lately. There's a lot of good people dying. Oh, I'm sorry. Good. In the audio quotes. Let me, you guys interrupt me as you wish. I'm just going to start with the epitaph I found somewhere on the internet.
God, he was annoying?
No. Here we go.
Hey, Vern, I'm dead.
Hey, Vern.
Hey, Vern.
What am
I moved my mic. I'm sorry.
Oh, gee.
Actor Jim Varney, the voice of Slinky Dog in the Toy Story movies, and the bumbling handyman Ernest P. Worrell in TV ads, and a popular series of slapstick film. Died Thursday of cancer at the age of 50, friends said. Varney, who lost 2/3 of his right lung to cancer in September 1998, died before dawn in his home at White House, Tennessee, just outside Nashville, said his spokesman and former wife, Jane Varney.
How does that work?
I believe I just said Tennessee outside Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
What kind of definition did you want from me?
Now, I don't have a position for you at Y. If we found a better plan, you can be my spokesperson instead.
Spokesperson? Honey, it's not working out. It's really cutting into my horn. Allegedly. I'm reading a goddamn obituary here. Can somebody...
Copyright infringement. Allegedly.
He passed away very peacefully, she said. It all happened rather quickly. Yeah, rather quickly. He lost a lung in 1998. It was like quicksilver. His death came just months after he reprised his role as Slinky the Dog in Slinky Dog TM in a sequel to the 1995 computer animated Disney hit Toy Story.
Allegedly.
No, that's all okay. We're hip to that.
We know that.
I'm just getting a little paranoid.
We know that actually happened.
We keep the lawyer on speed dial. We'll be all right.
Allegedly.
Buy Pixar. Buy Pixar.
Chris, do you happen to own any Pixar stock?
Maybe.
Are we allowed to discuss that?
Stock quarter.
I'm not sure. If we have if we get more than 0 listeners,
0 out of 365.
Theoretically, you're hawking the stock, and I think that falls into some sort of weird.
I believe as long as you disclose.
And for all you arbitrage players out there, Activision. Thank you.
Arbitrage.
Where's it at now?
15.
15?
Back down.
Well,
time to get in.
I bought it down. It's going up.
Ooh, that's how it's supposed to work.
You know what? Let's save that for the end of the show for our stock picks for the week. We'll have stock picks for the week. You know what? I just thought of a bit. We can end the last 10 minutes, stocks pick for the week, and then next Friday night, see how we did.
Okay, Joe Kernan.
You know what? I'll save that for the after show meeting. Okay, I'm sorry.
This is not CNBC radio.
Yeah, it's hard to have a ticker when it's audio.
Yeah, we don't have nearly enough graphics for MSNBC. Where was I?
You were at the last sentence, strangely enough.
Jim Varney dead.
No.
Jim Varney dead at 50. Okay, next topic.
Jim Varney. No, you know what? Jeez, there's like 17 paragraphs of Jim Varney dead. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, okay. Let's wrap it up, Jack.
Hang on.
They must have an intern writer or something that's trying to
a native of Lexington, Kentucky.
Beautiful
Sorry,
town.
I'm congested.
Beautiful town. I've been there.
Yeah. Varney is best known for his role as Ernest P. Worrell, the grinning, tool-belted bumbler.
We know!
He is portrayed in those television commercials. Now, here's the guy that never gets mentioned. His character always appeared opposite an off-camera, silent neighbor whose attention he always got with the line, "Hey, Vern." Hey, Vern, indeed. Well, Vern is dead tonight, as is Ernest P. Worrell, as is Jim Varney. I'm ready to move on.
No, we can't move on.
And the world yawns.
Blah, blah.
We can't move on. There's a story.
Well, let's see. Yeah, the story goes into a detailed list of all the Ernest films, including Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Rides Again, Ernest Goes to Africa, Ernest in the Army. Okay.
I don't think
were most of those straight to video?
No, actually not. And coming soon, Ernest Goes to Hell.
Yeah, Ernest Goes straight to hell. No. They're gonna spice it up a little bit, make it something.
Goes to heck for the family audience.
No, a little bit.
It'll be heartfelt.
I'm gonna go Ernest in the Divine Comedy. He's looking for Vern. He's wandered through the woods. He's looking for Vern. Am I getting too esoteric here?
We know you went to college.
Okay. He's looking for Vern. He's in the woods. All of a sudden, Vern shows up. Vern Virgil.
Wow.
Okay, never mind. Forget it.
Okay.
All right, you know what? Did I go too far?
Now we have negative.
Okay.
Can we have little like negative listeners?
I think we can.
Little clue for next time. Could we get like a sound drop-in of a plane crash?
Oh, we have those.
Oh, do we?
Except you know what? They're on my network drive at work, and I'm not hooked up to my work.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's too bad, isn't it?
So much for that internet thing.
Yeah.
So much
Oh, you are such an asshole.
And another phone call. Let's see who it is.
Somebody just enjoying the show.
Somebody just enjoying it. Chris is dropped the mic.
While Chris grabs the phone. Oh, here.
Oh, wait. He knows who it is.
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
Is it a listener?
Is it a satisfied listener?
Hello.
Is it anyone at all?
While he's doing that, anybody want to guess what might be linked to Jim Varney's?
Fred wants a T-shirt. Do we have T-shirts?
Do we have a T-shirt?
Is he actually listening?
I don't think anyone's been tasked to do that yet.
Really?
We have a listener!
All right, you know what? You guys just pinned the whole day. There we go.
Okay, Fred has content.
He has content?
Yeah, he says he had soldiers in your unit. Do you have soldiers in your unit? See, Fred is?
You know what? Tell Brad to hop in the car. It's a 20-minute trip. Get over
he could be here before the show is even halfway over.
We'll save his content.
Okay, dead air again.
Yeah, well,
Bring Joe.
It's a yeah.
Fred had soldiers that worked when he was they filmed Ernest Goes to Camp at Fort Sill. He had soldiers that were.
All right, you know what? Brad, we're going to ask you to save that for next week. We're going to.
Yeah, because this Jim Varney, I see this being a hot button topic for.
Yeah.
And he's over there, just having a conversation.
Yeah. I just want to close out the Jim Varney thing with.
Please do.
I got. You know what? I had a point.
Can a topic ever end?
No. We have 2 hours. Do we have other things?
Yes.
Okay. Well then. Following 1998 lung surgery, he suffered a bout of pneumonia, underwent radiation treatments where the cancer was detected in his brain. The cancer moved to his spine. The cancer Fred said he had been a heavy smoker for 35 years. So, a little something for the R.J. Reynolds advertising department.
Okay, you want to hear Brad's story then?
If you do the math, the quick math, 50 minus 35 means he started smoking at
15.
Yeah. So Jim Varney, heavy smoker since age 15.
Allegedly.
From allegedly from Tennessee.
Put the paper right in front of the mic. We don't need to hear you. We just like to hear the paper. Here, can we all do this? Can I get in on that?
Can I get in there with the?
Oh, for Christ's sake! Chris, did you have something to add about the Ernest?
Yeah, Brad called in to say that he had people that in the Army that he was in his unit that when they were at Fort Sill, they filmed Ernest Goes Camp at Fort Sill, and they were extras that got paid to go. And they were sending okay, except just too close to the mic.
Is scale any more than it is, and it was when I was in a music video a while back?
I think scale is union regulated.
I got paid $40 for 8 hours of work.
And that's all the catering costs.
If you were an extra, if you were an extra, that's probably scale.
Yeah, I was an extra.
I don't know.
It was certainly not a speaking role. It's a music video.
No, it's not a speaking role when you're in a crowd.
Scale is for losers.
Thanks, Steven.
Unless it's on the playing scale, get it?
And I didn't even bother.
Right. You know what? You got down in the Divine Comedy. You pulled out the playing scale. That's a big old yellow card, right?
Hey, because I know our audience, and our audience is probably very heavy into the physics and the Star Trek.
Okay,
but Brad is into physics. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's in the audience we would like to have to make our advertisers.
By the way,
happy.
I believe Brad is probably screaming right now at the radio. I took physics for poets. Right, Brad?
Sure.
I think that's physics for everyday use.
Hello, Brad.
Yeah. All right, enough addressing.
Radio for Brad. Yeah. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
If you listen to the show, we can personalize the show just for you as well.
Yeah, you folks that are going to listen to this rebroadcast.
So how about beer and chicks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Should we talk about the Hooters calendar girls?
No, I have a Jim Varney story.
They were in town.
Oh, wait.
Did you realize the Hooters chicks were in town?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, geez.
Here, let me get it this time.
Yeah,
Jeff can get it.
And for God's sake, bring the goddamn phone over to the mic.
We have two listeners. Of course, they're both listening at the same place.
That's
Hi,
Joe.
Wait, let's try a little experiment. Why don't you say something here?
All right, no, that's
not going to work. It needs to be amplified.
That's not going to work at all.
All right, you're ruining the flow. You're ruining the flow. I'm sorry.
So So really, we have one connection, 2 listeners.
Hello, Mary.
Anyway, for those of you listening this week on tape delay,
And
if you call in, we'll address the show specifically to you as well. And next week, maybe we'll get out a phone
they
number.
have beer and chicks there. So.
Okay, well, that's great.
Really,
Plural?
we will not actually address the show to you.
Stephen Hawking dropping over green.
Allegedly.
Oh, wait, I'm not on mic, so I'm not.
Yeah. You're bleeding enough.
Yeah, you want my mic?
We introduced ourselves at the beginning of the show.
Tell them they'll have to catch it at 11.
You'll have to catch it.
My name is Chip.
Or on the hour, we could reintroduce ourselves.
We could do that. Actually, it's the hour, babe.
What's up?
There you go.
Is it time for a song?
Timely.
You know what, Chris? Why don't you favor us with a selection? We'll take a break.
When we come back, we'll
And
reintroduce ourselves.
we can close out. You know, wait, actually, so we can finally friggin' bury Jim Varney. Chris, you had something to add about Jim Varney?
Oh yeah,
before we go to
well, it's not particularly about Jim Varney. It's a tangential story about Jim Varney, but how Jim Varney has affected my life.
I think we can go with the tangential story before the song, and then
Yeah,
the
go
song,
with it.
and then Barry Varney, Barry Collins,
And never speak of them again.
and then I think Maurice has got some topics. So, what's your tangential story, Chris?
I saw
You want-
Jim Varney movie once.
No, you want to talk about it now, or you want?
We said story, not intervention.
right now. Then
Let's
we'll
do
go
it before the song, so then we can kill Varney.
No, it just occasionally I like to play the Dead Pools.
Sure.
It's where you go. You pick 10 people. You pick 10 people that you think are going to die in the next year.
So you're on year 2000.
This is year 2000, because last year what place was I in, Jeff? Before I got boned by like Clayton Moore.
About 10th. No, the oldest person in the world died 2 days before the year end, screwing
She couldn't hold
Chris
on
out of a coffee mug.
Apparently, she wasn't from New York and didn't hold on to it.
That's Sarah Nouse for you.
No,
for you
but
aficionados.
so I decided I was going to enter for 2000 because I was feeling pretty hip and feeling like a badass because I was in 10th place out of what was it, 900 some people.
960 something.
Yeah, so I'm the
I came in about 90th.
So my level of hell will be a lot better than most of those people.
New circle just for you.
New circle just for me. Yeah. So basically, the deal was that I submitted for next year. So I picked some people, and I didn't read the fine print about the fact that you have to pick famous people. Well, they changed the rules about what the famous people were. I thought that the famous people had to be basically, if their obituary comes over the AP wire, then they're considered famous, and as long as they're not famous for being sick or famous for being a relative to somebody who was actually famous. Somebody who was famous in their own right. So I made a list. I saw, while I was down in Atlanta, I saw somebody who looked, my mom says, oh, that guy has cancer. His name's Jose Williams. He's big in the civil rights movement. He's got his own thing down there for feeding the poor and the hungry and stuff like that. So I put him on my list because he really didn't look very good. He was number one.
You vulture, by the way.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's how you got to play those things.
Yeah.
Jim Varney was number two.
So you knew about the cancer?
Yeah.
When I told Jeff during the show prep, he was absolutely floored. Jim Varney's dead?
No.
You didn't know about the cancer, Jeff?
No.
Allegedly.
Jeff, put the mic on your chest.
Oh, fantastic.
We tried that at our test show, and it really didn't work because it was picking up my heartbeat. I'm just taking a little nap because I got to go to work at midnight.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No, so it was like Jim Varney, a few other people. I don't want to go into the list because it's bad. But
it'll skew the results.
No, well, the thing is,
fast forward to punchline.
The thing is that they decided they had a committee of people. I don't know who these people are, but they decide who's famous and who's not.
It's the same people who vote on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Strangely enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Dusty Springfield. Anyway.
I heard last year. On my list, allegedly.
On my list,
allegedly.
But the deal was that they deemed that he was not famous, and he was number one on my list. So I was like, well, screw this. So they sent out an email that said, well, if you didn't like the fact that some people were not famous, in your list, you had not famous people on your list, then go ahead, and we'll give you a refund. So,
Chris, play a goddamn song. Chris, play a goddamn song.
I asked for a refund.
Once more, Stephen. He's not quite hearing you. I don't think he's got his monitor up.
So you got a refund, and...
Can you talk over the post? You got a refund?
I got a refund, and then
post it, bitch.
I got it on Thursday, and I cashed the check, and then Friday my number 2 died, so I was well on my way.
Post.
So,
Song.
So
you probably could have hit the post.
What are we going to hear, Chris?
this is a little song coming from you from, what is it, the 80s?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Hey, let's also post the
Play a goddamn song.
Well, Robert Smith and the Cure. By the way, I was able to get some of the new Cure songs.
Oh, no room for Bender, huh? Fine. I'll go build my own lunar lander with blackjack and hookers. In fact, forget the lunar lander and the blackjack. Screw the whole thing.
Hey, when I'm going to talk over the end of the song, you got to let me know that there's a drop in.
Oh, by the way, there's a drop in.
Thanks.
A little too late.
You know, next week when we do this for real, it's going to sound so great.
We're going to be dead on, man.
Anyway, I was able to get some of the Cure early releases of their new album. I don't know if you guys have heard about There's a New Album.
There's a new album?
There's a new album. I've got 4 songs from it. I was going to save them for next week because I didn't know how well they were going to go over. One of them is really kind of crappy. 3 of them are really good.
Where are you getting these from?
I have a source. Sources, allegedly.
Alleged sources. But actually, with that little bit of news, the Cure having a new album, I think it's time to launch into hour 2 of the radio show. And tonight, hour 2 is designated as entertainment time. And we're going to throw open our huge megawatt blowtorch to Maurice, who has got some ideas, some thoughts, some feelings on this week's Buffy.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is Maurice again. I'm an avid fan, you would say, of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show on the WB network. Yeah, this week's episode, which is labeled P4ABB13, the I in team.
Did we need the studio designation on that?
I like the studio designation. I keep track of them that way. The TV guide, the little blurb in the TV guide said Buffy's involvement with Riley in the initiative hurts her friends, but I think you'll find that if you watch the show, it was much more than that. The episode opens with a humorous little poker bit that sets the stage for this week's story. Willow, Xander, and Anya miss having Buffy around and discuss the reservations with the initiative, that government-funded demon research center that employs both Buffy's psychology professor, Professor Walsh, and Buffy's boyfriend, Riley Finn. The opening then cuts to Buffy showing her Slayer powers to the aforementioned initiative by defeating its members in a training exercise. The next morning, Buffy and Willow are talking about the previous evenings, with Willow obviously feeling cast aside by Buffy, something she's been feeling for a few episodes now. As Buffy's relationship with Riley blossomed and her own relationship, and Willow's own relationship with her werewolf boyfriend Oz kind of fizzled. But Buffy says she's looking forward to hanging out with the gang at the Bronze, the local nightclub, that very night. Later that day, Riley takes Buffy to the Initiative's headquarters to introduce her to their operations. Professor Walsh, who is some sort of director for the Initiative, gives Buffy a pager so that she can be contacted whenever they want her help. While this is happening, Willow is asked by her fellow witch friend, Tara, to do something that night. Willow blows her off because she really wants to spend time with Buffy and her Scooby Core friends, as Willow calls them. But she feels bad for letting Tara down. That night, Buffy shows up to the Bronze an hour late, very late, but Willow held out for hope, and she was very excited when she got there. But Buffy shows up with Riley and other members of the Initiative. Willow privately expresses her concerns to Buffy about getting too involved with the Initiative, just as Buffy and Riley are paged with a mission. That mission, which plays a very important role later in the episode, is to capture a demon alive, which Buffy questions, much to Professor Walsh's chagrin. Willow, who is very much disappointed by Buffy's late arrival and quick departure, goes to Tara's room. Now here I'm going to stop the narrative to make two asides. The first is that there's been a little bit of a buzz created about Willow's relationship with Tara. In previous episodes, Willow met and did some experimenting with witchcraft with Tara.
I've got some Entertainment Weekly stuff on that later if you want.
Actually, I'm going to mention that. I did read that piece.
Okay.
But in this episode, Willow spends the night at Tara's, and the show doesn't present us with exactly what they did. Some media outlets have tried to paint this relationship as a lesbian experimentation. Entertainment Weekly, in fact, went so far as to try to corner the show's creator and producer, Joss Whedon, on the topic. Whedon states that he isn't placing any meaning directly into the show.
Do we have tape on this?
I wish I had tape on this.
Let's go to the tape.
I thought to actually to create some clips, but I didn't quite have the time to work it out for this week. Maybe next week. But Joss says he's leaving the relationship up to the viewer to interpret on his own. It sounds as if he's generally not trying to create some sort of artificial buzz and exploit it, as many shows do. That he's just showing possible interactions between these young adult characters.
I love Willow. She makes me feel funny.
And especially that possibly that American Pie movie there, Stephen?
What, is she going to be in the American Pie?
I love Willow. She makes me feel funny.
And
Steven's puppet master can't type. Steven's puppet master can't type that fast.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. You may have to make some canned responses before the show next.
I'm gonna have to work on that for next week.
Okay. And this sort of storytelling is really what makes the show good. The interactions between the characters. I personally think Willow has found herself a sister to a sister of sorts to whom she can relate in a way that she can't relate with Buffy, and that's the true value of their relationship. The second point,
you don't buy the budding, possibly bisexual relationship?
No, I really don't. Also, kind of the fact that I've heard rumors that Oz is coming back, if anything does happen, I don't think they're going to turn it into a tear out versus Oz thing.
I did say bisexual.
Well, right, that's been suggested as well, but I don't think there's going to be that sort of conflict openly in the show. It may be something that a person could interpret, but I don't think they're going to intentionally place things like that into the show.
In real life, Willow, Allison Hannigan is dating Ginger Fish, who strikingly looks like a woman. So
yeah, that's a little strange.
Perhaps we're paralleling some things. I'm not sure, but
I don't think Josh.
But I've allowed you to digress. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
The second aside that I wanted to make was that Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a show has continuity to it. The storytelling is being developed and enhanced with each episode. Not only is there a major arc following Buffy's life, but there are also many sub-arcs or subplots that involve the other characters on the show. This really serves to capture the viewer and create a much more interesting show. Of course, it could also be serving as a barrier to new viewers watching the show because they don't quite know what's going on, and they with all the previous knowledge needed. But most of the episodes of Buffy do stand very well on their own.
If I can, I guess it's inevitable. I'm going to throw out an ad for a website here. Not an ad, but when I miss a Buffy episode, and there's a couple of them, I go to where is it? Let me pop this open. I can't. Let's see. As it were, there's an excellent website run by. It's basically a bunch of kids, and now I can't. But you go on. I'm going to try.
Yeah, I myself hit the main site www.buffy.com. That's where I get any information that I've missed. Although I've seen every episode.
That may be the case. I don't know if that's.
Well, that's the professional WB sponsored site. So there are many other fan sites though that have a wealth of information. While Tom is finding what he's trying to find there, I'll get back to my narrative here. Getting back to Buffy herself in this week's episode, she and Riley go on this mission to capture the demon, and the show does a marvelous job of relating the couple's teamwork of violence to take down this demon to a sex scene between Buffy and Riley. This was first actually done on a show last season with the other vampire slayer, Faith, who by the way will be back in 2 weeks. Faith, yes, she will be.
Bitch is dead.
No, she was in a coma. Remember, she was in a coma.
Oh my God.
Faith taught Buffy to unleash some of her untapped power, her Slayer power, that is, while explaining how horny she gets after a good fight. But this scene this week alternately cuts clips from Buffy and Riley's fight with the demon into clips of their foreplay, which is a very cool cinematic technique, in my opinion. As the sex scene ends, we see that Professor Walsh, with a very creepy look on her face, has a view of Riley's room and has seen the whole thing.
She likes to watch.
Yeah, I guess so. The next morning, Buffy asks Riley some detailed questions about the initiative, which causes Professor Walsh to begin to plot to get rid of her. The professor sends Buffy on what is supposed to be a simple recon mission, but she discovers it's a trap. Remembering that one of the demons she was sent to recon was the same one she saw on a table being, quote, reconditioned in the initiative's base. I actually had to, I didn't even notice what she saw the first time through the show. The second viewing, I actually noticed that it was the same demon that you see earlier in the show. And during the fight, Buffy defending herself from this demon, Buffy has her communications camera knocked off of her, which leads the professor to think that Buffy herself has been knocked off. as the professor explains to Riley, who has just shown up again, in full lie mode here, Buffy then picks the camera back up and tells the professor that she knew what she was up to, and she knew she set her up, and that she's going to get her.
Professor Walsh was such a bitch.
Yes, she was. Riley, who feels betrayed, leaves Professor Walsh with her failure. A short while later, Professor Walsh plots her revenge on Buffy. While she's doing this, she is killed by the Frankenstein-like demon creations she was having made under a secret project. Undoubtedly, this will play a role in next week's episode. And again, this is another beauty of the show. Whedon is not afraid, the producer, Joss Whedon, is not afraid to kill off an important arc character if it serves to further the arc. He did this with Miss Calendar a couple of seasons ago, and also, in fact, with Angel himself, the Buffy's first love, and I believe the only reason why he really brought Angel back was to spin him off into his own show. Not to mention
the girls love the Angel.
Oh yes, they do.
David Boreanaz.
He's the one hunk there.
If I weren't hetero.
Yeah. Okay.
Allegedly.
So I'm looking forward to next week's show, just to see what happens next. Will Riley leave the initiative? Will someone come to replace Professor Walsh, who will be Buffy's new psychology teacher? I mean, after all, she was posing as a psychology teacher at the college Buffy goes to. Will this affect Buffy's GPA? Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. By the way, all this is happening at a college, and this actually was kind of funny because this whole episode, you really couldn't even tell they were at college.
Everybody
but the questions are endless.
Stoned,
the questions are endless. As I mentioned before, in 2 weeks, Faith will awaken from her coma, no doubt to cause some trouble in Sunnydale. And I'll be here next week with a report of Buffy the Vampire Slayer next week.
We're going to have to reserve some time for the weekly Maurice Buffy report. By the way, that website I was looking for is not the official one. This one is buffyguide.com.
Oh, the one they've been suing to tell it to shut down.
Yeah, I like that one. It's pretty radical.
Sure, that's why they want to shut it down, man.
It's a little too good.
Yeah. It's too good. Maybe run by some insiders.
Ding dong, the bitch is dead.
All right. Next up on the...
No, I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
I
didn't know we had ended panel discussion.
When are they going to spin off Anya and Tara into their own show? Just something...
I think if you check out the Helmet Cam show on Playboy, you might be able to catch a little of that action now.
I don't want to catch any action with Helmet Guy. Helmet Cam Guy. Dear God, no. If I ever want to have an erection this decade. No.
I will say that Anya is rapidly becoming one of my favorite characters, just from her deadpan observations of the way this culture works. Of course, that's the same part of me that back in the early 80s liked Yakov Smirnoff. So, whatever, take that where you will.
In your country, you have freedom. In my country...
In America, you watch TV. In Russia, TV watch you. In America, you can stick it... Oh, never mind.
All right, you know what? I shouldn't...
Allegedly, in America.
Allegedly, Yakov Smirnoff was funny. Okay.
I don't think we need an allegedly for that. He most definitely wasn't.
I'm willing to risk it with the lawyers.
Yeah.
We'll let that one stand.
If you're a comedian whose home base is in Branson, Missouri, allegedly...
Yeah. You may not be doing so well.
All right.
As Tom flips through a magazine.
You know what? It's okay. It's completely... I think it is a standard, well-worn lieutenant
I got a cough.
to slip through some paperwork as I'm prepping for the next part of the show. So I think it's okay. Speaking of which, as we continue on in the... you should cut the whiskey with water.
All right,
as we move on to the Geeky Entertainment Hour... unless there's any more questions about Buffy.
I will be watching next week as well, just because my life is empty and that's the only thing I have to live for.
Okay.
Tuesday night, I have nothing better to do.
All right, well spoken. Okay.
Thanks for bringing me down.
Recently, I was out drinking with Jeff. Surprise. And Jeff had mentioned that Magnolia, a new film that's out, was one of the best things he's ever seen. However,
No, just for the record straight, it's not one of the best things I've ever seen. It was only the third best movie I saw last year.
Oh, what were the first two?
Oh.
Limbo and Bringing Out the Dead.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Not American Beauty.
Number 4.
Oh, okay.
It was a tough decision, wasn't it, Joe?
No. First 4 were easy. If I get to go to number 5, who knows? But anyway.
No, please go on. I got nothing here, but I got a 3-line article, baby. You go ahead.
Go for it, baby.
A lot of pauses.
It's the magic of radio. Maybe that 3-line article will lead on to something we haven't talked about, like, when a song was playing or something.
Yeah.
In a completely wacky and spontaneous way that we do this show.
That 3-minute song counts as show prep, okay?
Is that billable?
Yeah. That's a billable hour, man.
Accounts payable.
One of our favorite directors, Kevin Smith, responsible for, Chris, would you like to go through the litany, the canon?
Clerks.
Did I confuse you, litany and canon, and you said church?
I can see how he did that.
Yeah, it's like a word association thing over here. No, Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Aimee, Dogland.
And a brief cameo in the very tepid Scream 3, by the way.
Very tepid.
Tepid.
I don't even know what tepid.
Is that a teaser for later in the show? Do you have a review of Scream 3 for us? Save it.
I could whip one out, but tepid says it all.
Okay.
Tepid.
One of our favorite directors, Kevin Smith, responsible for all those fine films, has apparently emailed the director of Magnolia,
Paul Thomas Anderson. Dating
saying
Fiona
that
Apple.
I thought Fiona Apple was dating that magician guy, the guy that buried himself in a glass cage.
Doug Henning?
No, Doug Henning also.
Another death that we missed earlier in the hour, in the morose hour. Bob Collins, Doug Henning, Jim Varney.
There's your trilogy.
There you go.
There you go. Three's a charm.
That means you get a reset.
Yeah, time to go again.
Multi-ball.
Apparently, in some email post, in some website postings, Kevin Smith has said, "I've seen a Academy screener DVD of Magnolia. They send those out. I watched it. I'll never watch it again, but I will keep it. I'll keep it right on my desk as a constant reminder that here we go, bloated sense of self-importance is the most unattractive quality in a person or their work." Kevin Smith also likens the film to a cinematic root canal.
Ow.
I'm just going to let that go.
Wow. Kevin, baby.
Boobala.
Wow. Well, it is 3 hours. I'll give him that. But
so you're saying all that could have been alleviated with careful editing?
No. I'm saying if you let the 3 hour length get to you, sure. But
people can't watch 3 hour movies these days anymore.
I can.
Well,
I
Jeff can, but the average person does not have the attention span to do so.
No, it was a brilliant movie. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Did you find that the director had a bloated sense of Did you find the director had a bloated sense of self-importance? Did you find it smarmy in any way? Or
Ebert in his review called it operatic, and it's a very good word for it. It had ambition. It said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be a big movie, and I don't care if I fall flat on my face. And I didn't think he did. I loved it.
Well, I just find it interesting because I'm going to go out on a limb here and say huge Kevin Smith fans.
Yeah.
I mean, we like all of his work. I'm of the mind that he thinks sort of, at least the way people like we do think, I don't want to say he thinks like I think, but, he's sort of touched...
Well, how do you think like he thinks?
I know, that's why I didn't want to say that. He sort of found that nerve for our particular, again, I hesitate to use the word generation, but so we like his work, and for him to come out and just completely blast a film that you really liked, I haven't seen it yet.
It walks that fine line between genius and bloated self-importance, yes.
Now, there was a film in the past, and I don't know if you've seen it or want to comment on it. Brazil was a lot like that.
Yeah,
I thought Brazil was very good.
Yes,
but
I thought it was genius, but there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people that thought that either didn't understand it or just thought it was a completely horrible movie, or cheesy schlocky.
The thing about Brazil, it's like one of those old telephone switchboards, where you pull out the wires and you plug them in, you have to watch the movie like that. Okay, you've got this subplot here, and the people here are going through the same thing that these people here are, and then these motivations here. You know, you just keep plugging in the little connections. The movie was all about the connections, and it's all it transcends class. You've got all classes represented, rich, poor, whatever you got, and they're all going through the same thing and doing the same. I loved it. I'm sorry. That Kevin Smith thing has left me speechless.
Are you all right? Did I
I'm a
throw
little
you?
verklempt.
Are you okay?
If he could use the term.
Got a little spilkish going.
Again, if he could use the term, spilkish.
I don't think we're
we
zoned
need
for
to inject
that.
more Yiddish into our canon.
Shtickle.
Shtickle. Shtup. Big fan of the
Lickety
shtup.
schpick.
You like stupping?
I enjoy the shtupping.
Wow. Plus, I mean, you know, one of the most brilliant singer-songwriters ever, Aimee Mann, does like the entire soundtrack. But you know, that's ancillary, I guess. If I may use the word ancillary.
Okay, somebody logged that 9:30.
Yeah, Jeff used the word ancillary.
No, really. Carve out 3 hours. Go see it for yourself. I mean, actually, I don't know if it's playing in first run anymore.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
I can check the web.
Early exit on that.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't go ticking away over there. Just
No, it's not at the Marcus anymore, and the Marcus has everything first run. So, because I want to go see
local theater. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's one of those local multiplexes.
Your local 20plexes with the Iman.
For those of us out of the country, a multiplex is a movie theater with a lot of them.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of movie theaters.
Thank you.
Yeah, because somebody in a third world country is listening to this. Okay.
I think he was referring to our European listeners.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, they just got a computer in his village, he's found our show.
All I want to know is, when I go to java.sun.com, I want to know about this Java user group in Bangladesh. That's all I want to know. I want to know when their meetings are. I want to know when I can show up.
What are they doing in Bangladesh?
Item number 1, we like programming in Java. Item number 2, no food. Punch and time.
But anyway, you know, if you don't like Tom Cruise, don't worry.
I don't like
He's
I'm
great
not
in this movie. He's
Is he
great
gay?
in this movie. No, he's not gay.
In the movie.
Allegedly.
You got your William H. Macy, brilliant in everything.
I really like him.
He is a very good actor.
And now he's going to be on...
Little Henry Gibson.
Henry Gibson from Laugh-In?
Yeah.
Henry Gibson?
Yes.
Whoa. And by the way, I can't believe I pulled Laugh-In out of my ass.
I would not have been able to do
typing.
that.
Thank you.
Attention, Chris is typing.
That's okay. It's
He's
all
answering
part
the
of
question I answered 3 minutes ago.
You said
It's all a part of the show.
All a part of the show.
It's all part of the magic that we're producing.
This is where the magic happens.
Right here.
Okay.
So anyway, we were going to do that Magnolia thing and like go into a song from the soundtrack there, weren't we, Chris?
We could do that.
We could do that.
Why don't we do that?
The aforementioned brilliant Aimee Mann, go by everything she's ever done.
Is that Aimee Mann
From
formerly
Till Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday?
Get some of the Till Tuesday stuff, that's good too. But the Aimee Mann stuff, get it. That would be whatever. What was the name of the second round? I'm With Stupid. The Magnolia soundtrack,
now,
and the forthcoming...
If I may interrupt for just a second, are you going to talk until Chris gets the post?
Yes.
Okay, you just keep going, man.
I'm just filling.
You keep going.
I'm just filling here.
He's working on it.
Go.
That would be the song.
That would be the wrong song.
There we go.
It's a technical workshop.
All right, you know what?
Little something from
There
the
was a
soundtrack
moratorium.
called Momentum here on Radio Free, desperately trying to post Tiki. Am I? Thank you, Tom. We love these songs that just never end. They just kind of linger there. And this is why it will never be played on a real professional radio show, because you think it's over now. Nope, still on.
Just keep. Is this like 20 minutes of sound that will annoy your dog?
No.
Nice.
That with 2 F's.
That was Terry.
What was that, Stephen?
Voices Terry.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks, Stephen. Could you sing a few bars of that for us?
Oh, Jesus, no, he can't.
they're over there giving me dirty looks. No! You asshole, no!
Stephen, in as dirty of a look he can give someone.
Yeah, he can't do that.
Maybe Stephen's friends could.
Hey, a little something for next week. Maybe we should work on getting an elevator up here, because it was a bitch of a time getting a wheelchair up the stairs.
You know what? But unfortunately, he's very light. I just picked him up with one arm.
Yeah, but the wheelchair was a bitch.
Yeah, the wheelchair weighs 400 pounds. God damn it.
All right.
Okay, by group consensus, we are editing Entertainment Hour this week to Entertainment Half Hour.
Because I got to get to work soon. Maybe we'll talk about my work next week. That'll be a topic for next week. We've
got some things, actually, some teasers for next week. Letterman guest hosts. Who do we think should be doing it?
Janine Garofalo.
We may be able to revisit the Willow Gay issue. So
Janine Garofalo and Willow.
As that develops.
Okay. Maria has been getting divorced. We decided not to talk about that.
Ever.
And we can also save 90210 getting canceled for next week, okay?
And the Regis Philbin killing spree, allegedly.
I haven't heard anything about that.
That will be a topic next week, but we can't tell you why it's going to be a topic.
Okay, see, now we're going to get visited. It's just like when they blew up the World Trade Center.
Michael Douglas's gay porn past.
Or when...
allegedly.
Or when Mr. Peasley wrote a comic strip about the World Trade Center being blown up a couple days before it happened.
It was a coincidence.
It was the day of.
He wrote the strip a couple days before.
For our not so affiliated listeners, so somebody want to relate that story?
We were in college, all of us at the time, and if you remember back, the World Trade Center in New York City was bombed, and there was a comic strip in the Daily Illini, which was the newspaper of the University of Illinois, and there's this comic strip, Go Die, and the creator happened to had this character which was just pissed off at everything, and he made reference to blowing up the World Trade Center, and the day that comic strip came out, someone actually did plant the bomb at the World Trade Center. My favorite strip. It just resonated with me. His dog asked him, "Hey Ron, what's up?" He says, "My hair hurts." And the punchline is, "You miserable bastard." That just resonated.
College comics rule.
Mark Peasley, who, by the way, I don't know if it's the same one now working for Sierra Games. I just blew my way through Gabriel Knight 3, and there was a Mark Peasley.
I don't think.
Okay, you know what? That might be a yellow card there.
You never know. I just wanted to be hopelessly insular right there.
Yeah, success.
And she stole Mike's keyboard.
As long as we've gone
down
this road.
There's an insular reference to an insular reference. How about that?
As long as we've gone down this road.
The hell.
I pulled a little something off of my unnamed news source.
The Coconut Wireless.
Unnamed.
Allegedly unnamed.
Allegedly
I'm going to put out this week's Tom's Insane Theory, and I'm going to let you guys just go to town on it, because I actually have to go to the bathroom. So
I love where this is going.
Here we go.
When do we get the wireless mic so you can go into the bathroom and still talk about it?
Here, I got 20 feet of cord if you want to take mine.
Okay. I had Cajun food for lunch.
Oh.
And tacos for dinner.
Take it.
We don't
this reaches down the hall.
I'm thinking that's not good radio.
Ooh, spicy.
That's not good radio.
Actually,
I just have to tinkle. So, but anyway, let me set this up, and then I'll let you guys go to town on it. This week, all of us have been affected by the hackings, as it were.
I haven't.
I couldn't get into E-Trade on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, me. Okay. I couldn't either.
Okay, thank you very much. By the way, did we just sound way bourgeois for saying that?
I couldn't get. I couldn't get into eBay. That's about all.
I do the things.
I had a little bit of problems with Yahoo as well.
Yeah, the U.S. has been. I'm not going to say terrorized. So
under siege. Day 4.
Giving too much credence to it.
CNN's got a graphic.
I'm going to go ahead and say inundated. I'm going to go with inundated with internet pranks. I'm not going to call it hackings. I'm not going to call it tomfoolery. I'm going to call it pranks. Pranks, perhaps with a lesson, saying, "Hey, look, your shit is all wide open."
A cautionary tale.
Exactly. A hacking parable, as it were.
So there's this bit of the Good Will Hunting DVD commentary track where they say there's this one take where they just told Casey Affleck to interrupt Ben Affleck at every turn that he could in this one scene. That's what I'm doing right here.
Good job. I'm looking at you with the dumbest founded look.
Where the hell is he going? Good Will Hunting? I was talking about fucking hacking. Come on.
Anyway, yeah, I like the cautionary tale. Perhaps whoever's behind the pranks.
We have a theory at work. It's disgruntled AOL investors because you notice how AOL hasn't gotten hit.
And now tomorrow, now watch Monday. AOL gets hit, we're all arrested. Okay, that's what's going to happen.
We're not responsible.
We have nothing to do with it. That was speculation.
Allegedly.
No, it was not alleged speculation. That was that was speculation, okay? That's what that was.
Hell, I'm a disgruntled AOL investor.
Yeah.
Again, we're sounding bourgeois again.
Hey, Jeff,
I just want to put that up.
Remember the good old days when it was up at 90?
Okay.
Oh, 95.
95.
Bourgeois alert. Bourgeois alert. Sorry. Anyway, I think I said to Chris this week, I go, just somebody who's not very heavily involved in the computer industry at all. I'm in a technical industry, but not computers at all. I just said, isn't it funny that all these things started happening about 4 days after the famous Mr. Mitnick was paroled? Your opinions.
Now you have to explain who Kevin Mitnick was.
Oh no!
I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that to you kids while I go.
We'll explain it to Brad when we go, and that covers the audience.
Kind of like the Home AV Club thing.
Yeah.
No, we have people that are going to be listening on the rebroadcast. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Yeah, we're playing the rebroadcast. What at 1 a.m. or what?
Yeah. So did you see on the web that they had the Kevin Mitnick Fund?
Oh no, they've had that for a while.
Yeah, that's been.
But it's got renewed.
That started
a renewed. Interest.
What, are they going to use it to buy him a can and two cans and a string?
Because
that's the only thing he's allowed to use. According to his parole agreement.
Yeah, no computers. You can't work at McDonald's.
Who is he?
What kind of computers?
I believe actually he could be granted work use of a computer.
No,
but it can't have
internet access.
Yeah.
So the registers at McDonald's, I don't believe have internet access.
Well, no, this is the point this guy was making on CNN. Okay.
Oh, no, the guy was an idiot.
Allegedly.
Was that after their Tailwind coverage or? Oh, anyway.
Okay, Kevin Mitnick.
Kevin Mitnick.
10 minutes on that for us.
Kevin Mitnick. If you're looking for the seminal work on his history, get the book Crackdown. I think I have it in the library here. I don't know where it is.
Why don't you just tell people who
basically, Kevin Mitnick is a guy who was hacking into a bunch of computers, stole credit card numbers from Netcom when they were around. He hacked cellular phones to get free cellular phone access, that kind of thing.
Who's the granddaddy of hackers, basically?
There's been...
there were people before him, but he was the first one to make a name for hackers.
Really? Yeah. Well, but the problem was that he got arrested before, got let out of jail, and went back right back to what he was doing before. That was the problem. So, big guy. He was a big cellular hacker. Broke into Motorola, AT&T back when they weren't Lucent.
Back when Lucent was a part of AT&T.
Huh?
Lucent was a part of AT&T.
Yeah, when Lucent was a part of AT&T. Stole the whole point behind it is that the government made a big case over what he did because he quote unquote stole software. Now you can't steal software; you can make a copy of it. Does that mean it's actually missing? And said that the software was worth millions of dollars, and so they put threw him in jail. It's kind of a test case for all that. There's a big thing about trying to get him free because there are laws in this country about having a speedy trial, and it took like 3 years for him to actually go to trial, and it's only because it was such a technical case they didn't have the right people to do it and all that stuff. So there's a big movement to have him freed, and now he's actually free. So
he's on parole right now, right?
He's on parole. He's free. So, but there's a lot of, you can go like freekevinmitnick.com website or .org or something like that. You can look him up on the web, allegedly. But but he's also one of these guys. He's one of these people that, kind of the prototype for the hackers nowadays that you see causing problems like this, where they don't actually have very much technical knowledge. They rely on what other people have done before them and scripts that people have written to do the job. And that was one of his things.
They use other people's tools, as it were.
Script kiddies. That's the term. So.
Yeah, I actually read something today where a United States government official was saying these attacks could actually have been done by a 15-year-old child.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Most of them are. I mean, I've had
news.
I've had people hack into my computer before from Brazil. So, and I'm sure it's a kid, and all he did was log in and try.
Did you just say you have hacked into people's computers?
No, I've had people hack into my.
Into his computer.
Allegedly.
The Lake and I are in Brazil. They're hopelessly insular reference number 17.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, we all get it.
Yeah.
Thus the term insular.
But looking to see what he left behind.
But you made an insular reference before that only you got. So it could mean even more insular.
Okay, meeting after the show.
Action item. So the theory is, Tom's theory is, was it Kevin Mitnick?
I just, it seemed, of course it's highly coincidental, but it just seemed weird that really 5 days after he got out on parole, all this stuff started happening. Either it's being done as again, this is my wacky crackpot theory, as a tribute to him, as perhaps something he's directing from the side while not touching a computer, showing, you jailed me, but look what the hell's happening.
Right.
These are all things that have popped into my head.
I like the tribute angle myself.
It could be.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I really don't think Mitnick is controlling any of this in any way.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's a tribute.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe is an amateur hack. I use his credit cards all the time. Take that, super hacker boy.
Thank you, Steve.
I'm frightened.
Give us a little warning. Wave to us before you're gonna
say something.
Say something there, Steven.
He has no use.
He's not able to wave it.
Yeah, he has no use of his hand, except for the little clicky thing he uses.
Yeah, wiggle your finger.
Yeah, he could.
Okay.
Right, he could nod his head a little, right?
Again, it's probably coincidental, but
it
seemed very bizarre.
No, I have the timeline for this because I'm into the whole security aspect of everything since I got the craze over here pounding out the show.
We're calling it crayfish.
No, the craze. The craze, everybody here sells sneakers. Like when Robert Redford and the Gandhi guy went into that room with the Cray computer where they talked about information and stuff. That's kind of like what my apartment looks like.
Stop.
Anyway.
No secrets.
No secrets. No, here's the deal.
The movie
I belong to all the mail lists.
Now available on video and DVD.
Rent it at a store near you.
No, CERT, which is
Allegedly.
the computer emergency response team, put out an advisor saying this could happen. And this was a few weeks ago. And guess what? Somebody read that, decided this is what I'm going to do. And that's what they did.
Was that somebody you?
No, it was not me.
Allegedly. Because CERT said it could be done, someone decided to do it.
Yeah.
So essentially it's a Pandora's box kind of thing.
And just revisiting the whole disgruntled investor thing for a second, I was at work all morning, for those of you watching the news today.
All right.
I have witnesses.
Okay. All right.
No trips to New York. We are located in the Chicago suburbs, by the way.
Oh, great. Now people are going to find us. All our one.
Come find us. Kill me. Come kill me.
All right. Distortion.
We can give latitude so they can arrange tomahawks to hit on target. So.
Yes.
All right. I'm guessing. Did you have other issues on this?
Oh, I have other issues, but no.
Chris is issue heavy.
No, the whole thing, and the other thing I'll say about this is that they'll never find out who did it, because the way the attacks are directed and how it works is that they'll never do it because they're spoofing where it comes from.
They've tonight on my way over here listening to the news, they have traced it to the library, one of the slave units,
great.
The library in Palo Alto.
Right,
big surprise.
That's probably where it originated from before it got to Yahoo. The trick is that what you're doing is using it kind of as a relay from the actual place where it's coming from. So they'll never find out where it actually came from.
And they could have also set up the programs in the library there many days before it actually happened.
It's not.
It had a trigger on its own.
No, there's no libraries. There's no programs that they have to set up. It's a hole in the operating system to have forward packets to do this kind of thing. So.
All right. Whoa.
I'm sorry.
We'll leave it there.
Let's leave it there.
Whoa. Let me ask you this one last question, and then we'll put it to bed.
Oh, dear God, no.
You give no credence to the theories that this is an organized effort to cause terror. You think more of it's like Jeff said, a cautionary statement from somebody that actually cares?
No, just somebody to see whether or not they're going to get on the news. Guess what? They did. And what happened is that the FBI says, we're going to find out who did it, and immediately it stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was an organized effort, much more damage would have occurred.
The other news I have on this from today. By the way, why am I the news guy for this? Okay. The other
you're the one who did. Besides Maurice did pre-show prep. So.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I got prep. It's all in my head, baby.
No. The other bit of news today was the FBI are now saying that, well, we don't have any leads, but we're guessing that somebody did this and will eventually brag about it. I'm guessing that the largest law enforcement agency in the country, waiting for someone to go to a bar and go, I did it.
Guess what I did? I named it after a hooker in Florida. Oh,
stripper.
That's something else. Stripper in Florida, allegedly.
Nothing alleged about it. You admitted it. Melissa.
Allegedly.
Well, the Melissa virus for you.
You're listening to Allegedly Radio here on Live365.com.
Boy, we're safe.
Do we have to pump our host here? Do we get anything for that? No, I didn't think so.
We could give out the address again. Of course.
Live.
Anybody listening
would they list
to
us
the
first
show,
if we mention their name a few times?
No, we just got to get everybody to go in there and give us a 5-star rating, man.
Well, we got 4 or 5-star ratings right here. I think this show is superb.
Fantastic.
You know, as far as things go, the show is going much better than I expected it to tonight.
Oh, it's a horrible truth.
Oh my God.
Tom, denial, just stay in a river in Egypt, okay?
You know, I had visions of penis. Oh, wait, we did
that already.
We did that in the first hour.
Wait, you know what's even funnier? Porn.
Porn.
And
Porn. You have something to say, Stephen?
He's got to click through all the menus first to find the words he needs.
I like porn. I like porn.
Allegedly, Stephen?
Allegedly.
Do you like it allegedly, or do you really like it?
Stephen really liked it. Alright.
Couldn't spell allegedly. That's with 2 L's.
You know what? The problem is I've placed... Alright, here we go. I've placed the...
Not to go off on a rant.
Not to go off on a rant, but I've placed the unit that helps Stephen talk on my right side, and being left-handed...
Stephen's unit?
This was a stupid maneuver.
I find it interesting that what is on your left side is your Guinness, which I take as a cry for help.
You know what? I thought with this show I'd go through 2 Guinness. I'm just barely finishing 1. I can't.
Yeah, all I did was a swig of Jameson out of the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got half a beer drink.
And that was very attractive.
That was very attractive. Yeah, I should take to work with me.
All right. Well, we have some things we did not talk about this week, but we're getting about 5 minutes toward the top of the hour. Although we did get a late start. We did start the show at basically 5 minutes after the hour, so we could take 10 more minutes to go over. I'm going to say my guess would be let's do a quickie song toward the end of the hour, and then preview next week. Things we didn't talk about, things we might talk about next week, possible people that might be here on the panel.
Brad.
Dan. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after the song. But let's do something real quick here, and then we'll preview next week. Chris, how's that sound to you?
Sure. Song?
Sure. What do you got?
A little something from Sweet Cal, Tori Amos.
Oh, a little something up to take us out. How about
how about that?
Yeah. That's like ending the show with an open vein.
No, this is an up song.
Uh-huh.
It's off our new album. Well,
The
not
Cure,
how about
Aimee, Mann,
you got
Tori, Amos.
Hey, I listen to a lot of teenage girls.
You got Raspberry Swirl sitting there?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yes.
See, I know what the hell I'm doing.
Go.
Okay.
All right. It's the dance remix version.
Oh, even better.
Even higher.
So there's basically 3 minutes of post-it. Tori Amos on 6 strings.
it'd screw up my inhibition unit.
So you flip out and start acting like some crazy folk singer?
Yes. I guess a robot would have to be crazy to want to be a folk singer.
So, we're back here at Tiki Radio. Why am I really, really loud? Is the stereo off or not?
I think you're just very excited.
I'm very, very loud. I'm very, very... Wait.
Tori excites Chris.
I messed with the board a little bit during the song, but I don't think that's it. I moved it to fractional number.
Well, there you go.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Stephen. But I think we'd just kind of point off people to where they can listen to the broadcast.
You mean in the coming week when we're not live?
Yeah, when we're not live.
Okay.
Until Radio Tiki comes back up, until we have the domain registered, it's internet, it's in the queue. You can go to www.crispy.net / I don't know if it's forward or backward, I never got that straight.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's the slash that you make. And Tiki Radio. And you hit enter, should come up with a page. There should be 2 links to listen. You can click either one. They both should work.
Okay.
But we, Go Live 365. They have, usually better connection.
Now, will that just be our music program going on then, or is that rebroadcast the show?
I will rebroadcast the show. I may want to intersperse it with songs just to break it up a little bit.
Maybe we can do the 2 hours of the show, an hour of tunes, 2 hours of the show, hour of tunes.
That's a little hard to do.
Oh, for God's sake.
So, no, that requires planning and thinking and stuff, so I can't do that.
Hang on a second. I have something important enough to discuss actually on the air.
Yeah.
Is the device recording the show just stopped?
No, I heard a mechanical clunk, but
it's fine.
Because that's the thing that we're going to be replaying next week.
Might have been this.
Okay, that's bad. So
no,
it's going. Okay. The little numbers are changing.
We're good. We're golden.
That's a good thing.
Right.
Okay. Also, I believe there's plans in the work. Whenever somebody logs onto the website, there'll be a little commercial for the show.
That I'm setting up this weekend.
Okay.
When we have to make the commercial.
All right, we've got a lot of tech to go on with this. This is it's a work in progress, and I for one am very happy with it.
The Radio Tiki experiment.
Here, and I think that's the first drop for the edited commercial. That is the Radio Tiki experiment. Nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Some previews for next week. I think Cheeks. By the way, I didn't go into this. Our pal Maurice likes to be called Maurice, but unfortunately we call him Cheeks, and I can't get over that.
And an old nickname picked up a long time ago.
Years and years old. So don't call it. When anybody does start calling it, don't ask us.
We have known each other since NAMM. So.
Yeah. Jeff pulled me out of a foxhole. But I don't feel like explaining what Cheeks means right now. Maybe we'll do that on another show. We'll have a contest.
Someday.
Maybe a contest.
Yeah, maybe a contest.
Next week we're looking at some more panel members. Some folks that couldn't be here tonight for various reasons, i.e. it's Valentine's weekend, which is a rant I didn't even get into tonight.
Oh, my God. There's an hour next week.
Okay, for Valentine's weekend.
It's the weekend of February 14th.
Yeah. Is when we're doing the show live. So those of you listening to it next week, you've already lived through Valentine's Day. Congratulations.
Email us. Tell us how it went.
Please email us about the show. Where can folks email us at this time?
I don't have a link set up. So there is a link on the webpage if you go to the www.crispy.net /Tiki Radio. It'll go to me.
Okay.
At crispy.net.
So let's do. Wait, what's the beginning of it?
Crispy
at
crispy.net.
Crispy.net, and that's CHRISPY. Let us know what you thought of the show. Give us any kind of feedback. We're okay with being told we suck. This was the first time we did this. It's all right. We're fairly thick-skinned, and it went well enough.
Stephen thinks we suck.
Stephen thinks we suck. I don't have Stephen cued to say that.
Oh, no.
So,
you got to set that up.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to have... I got like a sliver of hard drive space left on this laptop, and I'm going to have 14 different wave files.
Erase some of that porn on there. Okay, so you got
this is my work laptop?
Yeah, erase the porn on there. That's
so next week, you're getting into next week.
Oh, sorry, next week we may have some different panel members up here, folks that can tell us about their Valentine's weekend, again, which we didn't talk about. There was a couple other things. I had some things slated. Gibson talk. We didn't do that.
Oh.
William freaking Gibson.
William freaking Gibson. And let me just throw this out there as a topic. Not as a topic itself, but a topic to discuss whether or not we make it a topic. And it's called Do we dare talk about the election? Okay,
no.
We'll leave that for next week.
Oh,
we'll leave it for next week. We may have a visit from the Bob Doles. We'll see. Oh my God, it's becoming like Leno. It's like the dancing goddamn Guidos. Great.
Oh boy.
No, it will not be like Leno.
Yes.
You're right. We also did not do Chris and Jeff's DVD chat.
Oh.
I haven't bought a DVD since December.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
I'm all pooped out on the DVD.
We found out about this DVD chat about 20 minutes ago, so big fucking shock there.
The listeners don't need to know that. That's the magic of radio.
Can we meet after the show on that? Thanks. And then, like I said earlier, I think Cheeks has got a piece called, what?
It's called Philosophy in the Dentist's Office.
Yeah, I think every week we're going to have a little bit of spoken word from Maurice.
Well, that's not so much, that'll actually be more of an open discussion, really. But it'll start with a story and then turn into an open discussion.
All right. Any surprises
Can't wait for that one.
Any surprises from Jeff or Chris for next week?
You know, my HBO,
yeah,
just completely random, and I cannot turn it off. I've tried everything I've thought of. It plays the second audio Spanish thing.
At random?
No, continuously.
Sábado Grande.
So you hear it in English and Spanish. I'm working on something for that.
Los Sopranos.
I look forward to that.
Actually, I'm not. I just wanted to mention it because it's really pissing me off.
Is it something you're going to throw on DAT for us?
Is it just your HBO?
Just HBO.
That's really weird.
You should be contacting your cable provider.
Call your local cable provider for information.
Which is probably by now what?
AT&T.
Chris, how about you for next week? Any
Allegedly.
surprises? Anything planned? I think you mentioned something called Chris's Spam Bin.
You know, I get a lot of spam. We could go through some picks and pans.
That's a trademark term, I think.
Tips and twaddle.
All right, tips and twaddle of spam. So
it was either that or I could do Tales of the Old Internet. Back in my day, we didn't have no T1.
What did you have, Grandpa?
We had a 1200 baud modem, and it was all text and it's point and clicky crap. And sometimes we didn't have web browsers.
You had to write it down on a piece of paper
Hand it to some guy.
and send it through the mail.
Wait, I don't believe that's part of the internet.
That's the irony.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You know the reason why it took so long to have the internet, even though it have the World Wide Web, even though the internet's been around for 20 years? It's those damn people in Pueblo, Colorado with that stuff.
Sure.
We were going to put this internet thing, put them out of business. Now there's like 100 people without jobs, and they're going to kill all, they're the people doing that Kevin
perhaps are they pissed off enough to do a denial of service hacking?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So
all right.
I think next week we'll also find out what I do for a living.
Excellent.
As along with everybody else.
Mercenary.
But
maybe we can just let that slowly trickle out. I am using my work laptop. Maybe they don't need to know that.
Yeah, I'm going to work right after this show. It's about 10 o'clock our time.
You could be a Denny's line shot.
Mercenary.
Very well could be with a job that late.
Mercenary.
Exactly.
Crack core assistant.
Well, Chris, why don't you post up something for the end there, and we'll have everybody say goodnight, and we'll see everybody next Friday, hopefully around 8.
Good night, John Boy.
John Boy, is that another panel member?
Good night, everybody. Please listen to the show. These losers are paying me royalties.
Good night, Stephen.
Good night, Stephen.
Oh, wait. I'm getting the extended symbol from Chris.
It takes me a while to click in the point.
Try pointing first and then clicking.
I get Stephen to say a real nice thing, and look what you do to me. All right, Stephen's going to say goodnight one more time, and then you better hit that goddamn post, Chris.
Screw you guys. I'm out of here.
Here goes Stephen. Are you ready? All right.
Good night, everybody. Please listen to the show. These losers are paying me royalties.
Thank you.
Good night, Stephen. Good night, all.
All right, good show. You listening to Radio Tiki all week long.